Hey guys, welcome back to the SC Reports podcast. I'm your host, Stevan Cyrus. Guys, really quickly before I start this podcast, thank you to my new subscribers. I believe I ushered in 5 to 6 new subscribers on that Kyle Korver video that just blew up 2,000 views, I believe, and almost 20 likes to 1 dislike. There's always one. But I'm very blessed that happened. I've had a few of those videos kind of blow up like that lately, and I'm happy with that. I hope that I can continue to impress you guys with my coverage of sports. Again, basketball is really my best sport, so you're going to get a lot of that. And, even if you don't agree with me on some videos, hey, let's have a discussion in the comments section below. I'm always willing to hear you out. Now, let's get into this podcast. Tomorrow, I will be dropping an all-star starting 5 and who should be coming off the bench. But for right now, I wanted to get this video out because Atlanta is the hot topic right now. And we're talking about the Atlanta Hawks. What was Atlanta thinking? Seriously, what was Atlanta thinking? They were 4th in the Eastern Conference. They were 20-16. They had a better than 55% win percentage. Only 7 games back from first place. They were on a 5-game winning streak. In their last 10, they are 7-3. Conference-wise, they're doing really well. 14-7. In their conference. That's pretty well, right? Well, Stevan, maybe some of those wins, they didn't come against good teams. Okay, let's have a look at some of their wins this season as I pull up their schedule here. First game, they beat Washington. They beat Houston, really good team right now. They beat Cleveland. 110 to 106. Okay, that's a pretty huge win for those guys. Okay, they went and they beat Chicago. You look around, they're right next to Milwaukee. They beat Milwaukee this year. You keep looking around, they lost to Golden State by only 5 points. That's pretty good. They got annihilated by the Raptors once, lost to Oklahoma City, but they came back and beat both of those teams. They beat the Raptors the next time they had the opportunity, 125 to 121. And then they beat Oklahoma City 110 to 108. So they have some really good, solid wins. Not to mention the last one that I will mention is that they beat the San Antonio Spurs not too long ago. 114 to 112 in overtime. So they were beating very decent teams, very good teams. But then Atlanta all of a sudden just wants to blow up the team. I don't get it. I don't see where this is coming from. And maybe, people that are living in Atlanta and you are much closer with the Hawks than I am, as I try and look at, a few teams, maybe you can tell me in the comment section below, was this coming? Because I did not see a reason for this to happen. They have very good quality wins on their resume this season. Dwight Howard was doing just good. Paul Millsap was getting his numbers. Kyle Korver, up and down, turning it around lately. On open threes, he's 49% on the season, almost 50%. Dennis Schroeder doing a very decent job, not much of a passer, but we knew that. We knew that he was going to be more of a scorer. And if you think about it, 2 years ago, these guys were a 60-win team. Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver, Paul Millsap, DeMarre Carroll, Al Horford. 4 of those guys got into the NBA All-Star game. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that Atlanta has just decided to blow up a 60-win team 2 years ago. Like, I don't know what happened. Last year, they kind of started saying, oh, well, we don't think we're going to pay money for Jeff Teague. Even though he did a solid job in that 60-win season. And I know right now he's kind of like struggling over there with the Pacers, but he was fitting in really well. He loved having Al Horford beside him, So what happened? I want to know. That's why I brought this up. Again, I want to just ask you guys, because this has been on my mind for a while, and as they've literally destroyed this team, everybody on that 60-win starting five is now somewhere else. DeMarre Carroll's in Toronto. Jeff Teague, he's in Indiana. Al Horford, Boston. Kyle Korver, Cleveland. Paul Millsap, Toronto. It's very, very soon. But yeah, I don't see why they decided to blow up this team. They had some very good quality wins this season, but I guess in the long run, they just didn't think that, they were going to contend. It's kind of like Orlando. They had a whole bunch of great pieces. They had Victor Oladipo, Tobias Harris, a young prospect, Aaron Gordon, Alfred Payton. Those guys had some really good pieces. All you had to do was develop it. But then they blew it up. It's just so weird to see teams do that as of late. When they have all the pieces, you just have to be patient and let it grow. Tom Thibodeau is about to do the same things to the Timberwolves. They said they were going to trade a young prospect if, they didn't see big results this season. Are you kidding me? Do you see the scoring that's coming out of the Minnesota right now? If those guys stay together for a few more seasons, they can be a really big threat in the Western Conference. But again, let's stick to Atlanta. Guys, I want to know your thoughts. Was this the right move by Atlanta? Do you think that it was warranted? Because I don't. Yeah, I guess really you don't have the pieces to beat Cleveland in a playoff series, much less the Celtics or Toronto. But you had a very decent team. All you had to do was go out there and try and find a scorer to complement your team. But then again, they decided to blow up the team. I'm kind of disappointed. But guys, I want to know your thoughts. I think I got everything out now. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Share us with your friends. And guys, I will see you tomorrow.